welcome to Asia Gaming Brief's face-to-face series. Today, I am speaking with Peter Johns. Peter is now the Chief Commercial Officer with IDX Games, based in Hong Kong, and a long-time casino executive based in Asia. So welcome, Peter. Nice to see you.
Hi, Sharon. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so what we wanted to talk about today was really how COVID is accelerating the trend to all things digital in casinos. And I just wanted to get your views, first of all, on convergence. How is this going to happen and how important is it?
Yeah, well, obviously 2020 has changed everything, I guess. The fact is, I think there's no going back to the normal we once knew. I think that digital and the digital age has come along so fast in the COVID years. We've now doing everything digitally, everything online, meetings by Zoom. E-commerce has jumped leaps and bounds. I mean, I know people before never ordered online, but now you have to order online. You get your meet, you greet, and you eat, and everything's done digitally. So it's going to mean, it's got to change the way we're acting, and it's going to change the way that businesses have to react to that. And that's no different for casino space. And I think 2021 in the next 2 years is going to be more transforming in that digital space than probably the last 10 was, especially when it comes to doing business or doing transactions and entertainment in that space. So digital has got a long way to go. And I think the gaming industry, they can't escape from transforming from where they are today.
Right. The Philippines really seems to have sort of taken the lead in Asia. They've taken the bull by the horns and said that their land-based casinos can accept online bets. Can you see other jurisdictions following?
I mean, without a doubt, I think it's funny how, online used to be mostly digital and has moved into more traditional place with studios, I guess, and live streaming of tables. And then traditional sort of really been dabbling in the online space with proxy and pogo operations, but it's been mainly in the VIP spaces. But I think that now, they've both got their challenges with the regulators clamping down on certain jurisdictions before COVID even. But I think now that COVID's hit, many customers found that obviously you can't get into your either jurisdiction or your area through travel restrictions, and you're not allowed to gather in the casinos. So I think it's only natural that the casinos start to explore the online space more, especially if they want to keep them revenues going. Unfortunately, some jurisdictions obviously have laws restricting online for many reasons, and I believe that they will need to rethink that space because those lines are going to be blurry between online and traditional casinos. Obviously, tax revenues are going to decline, so they need to, do need to think about it. They need to move over. And I think MGM has made moves this last month to go more digital, go online. So I think that in the next 6 to 12 months, you'll see more jurisdictions allowing it to happen. Yeah, I do.
What about Macau? I mean, obviously they've always been very, very anti-online. Could you see any movement there? And you just mentioned MGM. I think all of the big US operators are now looking at quite a serious digital strategy. Do you think Macau would budge?
Yeah, look, it's probably one of the most regulated markets in Asia. And when it comes to electronic forms of gaming, probably the most regulated in the world. But it's world renowned, and it's, I would assume that the regulators are looking at the online space. They will be watching other jurisdictions closely, like the Philippines. Besides online, I guess Macau could open its borders to Hong Kong, as we thought, and Hong Kong used to be one of Macau's biggest customers, but if they're not going to do that and they realize that the limitations in getting visitors to Macau, then they will have to sort of, relax a bit of those laws maybe and allow their casino operators to maybe do some online. But, that has come with the big brother, I guess, or the China sort of influence. I guess that will affect how they move. But yeah, it'd be very interesting to see if Macau does start to allow or does start to open up in other ways.
And what would your overall outlook be for the land-based sector at the moment? I mean, are you sort of upbeat that there is still a strong, resilient sector waiting to emerge once the travel restrictions have been lifted, or is this something that's changed things for good?
Yeah, well, I think Landbased have been kind of sitting in the dark ages for way too long in the digital space. Maybe because it got comfortable, or people got lazy doing what they know. But traditional casinos kind of need to embrace more technology and more digital technology and use it for the greater good, in my view. The casino, the world has changed, and there'll be a need to adapt to that new world, or suffer the consequences or the losses of that. Most of us are social people, social animals, if you like, and I think we'll always return to integrated resorts or casinos because of that interaction with real people. Though how we interact when we get there and how we transact with the customers when they come to us, I think in the new normal, if you want to call it that, there's going to be a need for change. Digital currencies for maybe cashless transactions. We all use WeChat, Alipay, PayMe apps and all those right now. And that's become more prevalent, I think, with COVID. And we've seen people, that's the only way you can survive pretty much these days. So it's only natural that casinos start to embrace those payments more, I guess. The handling of cash, chips, coins, even tickets, I guess, is something that we all need to rethink. If you had to sort of imagine how many hands, this medium's gone through before it touches yours, and we're all now trying to clean our hands with sanitizers, it makes you think about how important a digital currency would be in a casino. So I think that's something that casinos will need to, look at in their strategies pretty well.
Okay, so final question, just sort of for the year ahead, obviously we were just talking that things are very, very slowly recovering, very slowly. Do you think that this will be another year of accelerated growth for the digital side of things, given the outlook?
In ways of digital transformation, I think it's, we've got to learn how we transform that and how we merge the Great Divide more seamlessly, I guess. I think that there's some good products coming along. There's some great technology out there that the new casinos or the casinos planning for the next couple of years should adopt. Why are casinos, taking a carbon copy of what was good 5 years ago? I've walked in so many casinos that look like Wynn Macau, and Wynn Macau is a great casino, and they got great revenue. But in the next 2 to 3 years, there's a lot more out there that can attract the new customer and the new normal. I think the customer obviously will change in places. If you look at Japan and see, if Japan ever opens IRs, it'd be 5 years down the track. So that the new customers and the expectations of those customers will be wildly different than what they are today. So building a casino that was built 10 years ago and copying it is kind of, starting off behind the 8 ball, if you like. So I'd like to look at sort of saying, how can we make the experience more immersive for the player? Why do I have to sit at a traditional table when I go to a casino? Why can't I sit in a comfortable lounge? I pick up a tablet, I scan a code, and I can play the games in the casino, but I can also play them in a nicer environment than sitting at a cramped table. And can we add more excitement? There's ways digitally to add more excitement, more betting opportunities, especially on the tables. I'm talking mainly tables, actually, to make it a different betting environment to what's on offer right now with Baccarat. And we've done some work with our digital table we've been developing, and that's had some great appeal to players or to casinos looking at it from a COVID point of view. where there's no chips to be handled, but also for security reasons. I guess less chips on the table is better for security. But it gives you the chance to offer more excitement and more in-game play, I wish. So offer more excitement and more in-game opportunities. You can add some slot activities, if you like, or jackpot elements to a table, which you currently don't have. So there are ways that you can spruce up the current offering using the digital transformation to, one, entertain your players, make the game more fun, and drive more revenues for the casino.